Okay.
Oh, you're alive already. Yeah.
Welcome. This is Active Aging with Barb. My name is Barb Eisenberg. I'm a physical therapist assistant and also a licensed massage therapist. And this is Mudassar.
I'm a physical therapist and a certified expert in exercise for aging adults. So, Barb, today we're going to be talking about anterior knee pain. Basically, what that means is, pain in the front of your kneecap. So
Okay.
I think before we kind of dive into kind of what causes the knee pain, I think it makes sense that we talk about what are the structures are within our knee joint, and then we can talk about what causes before we
Great.
understand the structure of the
Great.
joint.
So the knee joint is actually two joints in one. You have the femur or the thigh bone connecting to the tibia or the shin bone. And then you also have the femur connecting with the patella, which is your kneecap. So there's two different joints that come together to form your knee joint.
Okay, so we have our thigh bone and shin bone making one joint, and the other joint is the kneecap and the thigh bone making another joint. So one of the most common pains people do experience is in the front of the knee. And this, most of the time, primarily has to do with the kneecap and how it moves on your thigh bone. So, Barb, do you want to talk a little bit more in detail how it works normally and
Sure.
typically what we see in patients?
So when you bend and straighten your knee, that patella or kneecap is supposed to slide up when you straighten your knee and slide down when you bend your knee. You might be able to see if I put my fingers around my kneecap, you might be able to see it sliding down when I bend and sliding up when I straighten. But if there's some force around the knee that's pulling it in one direction or the other, it's not going to be sliding in a nice straight line like it's supposed to. And that would create friction between those two bones, between the patella and the femur. And friction is bad.
So it becomes like an alignment problems.
Right.
So I want to make
Right.
sure I'm understanding right. So normally, so this is my kneecap right here. So if I bend, I'm bending my knee, then the patella, the kneecap goes down as I am bringing it up. It comes up.
Slides up.
So we want to make sure that the kneecap is going in a straight line up and down.
They call that tracking,
Yeah, tracking.
going in a straight line.
So what happens? So people experience pain when it's not tracking up and down correctly.
Right.
And typically, what do we see?
The most common reason for this pain is that there's some force that's pulling the kneecap out to the side. So there's some force pulling the kneecap this way so it's not aligned properly. That's called lateral tracking, which is not what you want.
So rather than going up and down straight, it's just pulling out towards away from your body, away from the center.
Right, lateral tracking.
Okay. So, Barb, what can we do to help that anterior knee pain that's most common? So
There's a few exercises that we think might help. One of them is very simple. It's a straight leg raise, so you're pointing your toe up, and then we want you to turn your toe out and then lift it. So what that does is it activates this VMO, or this part of the quadricep that's on the inner thigh. And that's going to help pull that kneecap back into alignment.
yeah, so there's a muscle imbalance between the muscles on the outside and the inside. So by activating the right muscles, will help
Exactly.
track the patella in the center.
Exactly.
One thing I think we want to mention to our viewers is that making sure that their knee is locked, so they're not doing this with their bent knee, and making sure, just like the way you're showing, where it's straight and locked.
Yeah, if your knee is not straight, then you're really not activating that muscle that we're trying to engage.
Yeah.
And you can also do this laying down, flat on your bed. Just turn your foot out and lift it up. Okay, the second exercise that we're going to do, you can do laying on your bed or laying on the floor. and you'll need a ball or a pillow or a folded blanket works well. You want to lay down with your knees bent and then put the pillow or the ball in between your knees so that you have to squeeze the ball or the blanket and then lift your hips up off of the bed and hold for a couple seconds and then slowly down. So you squeeze in and then you lift and lower.
So, Barb, as you're doing it, you're primarily, you're working your glutes, your buttocks, but right now we're trying to focus more of your adductors, the muscles.
The inner thigh.
Inner thigh muscles.
Yeah, and you'll definitely feel it because they're not usually real strong muscles. So you'll feel that. You'll feel them working. So pulling in or pushing in on the ball or the pillow and then lifting and then lowering down.
Great.
That's
so
it.
How many reps and how many sets?
3 sets of 10 is always a good number.
All right.
All right. And then the third exercise that you can do is actually not an exercise, but a technique to loosen up the tissue. So this tissue we're talking about is the IT band. It's a band of tendons that run from your knee
fascia,
up to...
It's like a saran wrap kind of fascia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this tissue runs from your hip to your knee, and if it gets very tight, it can pull that kneecap again to the outside and create some pain. And if this is really tight, what you can do is get a foam roller. This is just a small one. You put it on the ground. This one's not going to work on a bed because that's too soft. And then you lay on your side and try to put the foam roller on the side of your leg and just roll a little bit up and down. And it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not usually a real comfortable thing to do because many people have tight fascia on the outside. But just do it for a few seconds if you can stand it, and then do it again later on.
So again, Barb, as they're rolling the foam roller, they can identify which spots are very tense. So you can hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds. Again, you can roll it or you can just target where you have the pain. And again, there are different kind of densities when it comes to this foam roller. This is the highest density.
That's right. That's right. So that means this is the hardest. The hardest one.
So just you have to find the right one for you. So just to kind of give a quick review, like what we were talking about, Barb, is we were talking about people experiencing most common pain right around their kneecap, and typically the kneecap, majority of times it's more towards out because there's an imbalance in the muscles. One muscle is stronger or some of the tissue is tighter. That's what we are trying to address by doing the foam rolling. If the muscles out to the side are tight, we're going to use a foam roller, and we'll also strengthen the muscles if there's a muscle imbalance, to strengthen the muscles on the inside of your thigh by doing that the bridging with the ball or a pillow, or just bringing your toes out and lifting your leg out.
Straight leg raise.
Straight leg raise with toes out. So those are the 3 exercises. Once again,
wonderful.
People can have very severe pain with this. The first place to start, especially with something like this, would be a physical therapist, or a physician might also, ideally a physical therapist would address these situations, or an orthopedic physician as well. So wherever you need to go, that's where a good place. If you're having severe pain, that's where you start. Definitely. And this is just tips to help if your condition is manageable.
Great.
All right. I think we're going to jump right into active aging with Barb, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Manasseh.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to move this out of the way for you so we can focus.
All right. And we always start with a warm-up. So we're going to march, lifting knees. And you want to make sure you're not bringing your shoulders down to your knees. You're just standing tall and lifting your knees. And you can start low, And as you get warmed up, lift them higher. Warming up. Lift and lift, lift and lift. All right. Let's do a little side to side. Activate some different muscles, warming up your hips in a different direction. And start deep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you bend your knees a little bit, you'll feel those quads are activating that thigh muscle. Those are some of the biggest muscles in your body. And when they're working, it really helps pump the blood through your body. Good work. Side to side. And you can do a tap and tap. Bending those knees. Good work. All right. Side to side. And tap. Now, this looks like a very small thing, tapping your toe, but that activates your calf muscle. So we want to get as many muscle groups involved as possible. Good work. Bend and tap, bend and tap. Then you can add an arm, get your shoulders moving. We're still pretty relaxed because we're warming up. Reach and tap, reach and tap. Good work. So we're loosening up the shoulders and the toes, the feet. And if you're bending your knees, then you got those quads going, they're pumping the blood. Good work. Let's go to a kick and kick. And if you want to add the arms, that just increases your heart rate. And then we're working the heart muscle as well. Up and down, up and down. The kicking across helps loosen up those hips. And you can do this slow or fast. So we're kicking from the knee. Good work. Extending the knee. So we're not doing a straight leg raise. We'll do that later. We're kicking from the knee. And back to side, almost like a jumping jack. Good work. It's amazing. If you just bring your arms into the picture, really increases the heart rate. So you don't have to run around the block. All you have to do is move your legs and move your arms all at the same time, and that's going to get your heart rate up. Good work. Now we're going reach, reach and tap. So one arm, reach and tap, reach and tap, reach and tap. A little knee bend. Really stretching out, so we're bringing the core in here. We're stretching out the sides, lengthening the waist. Deep breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now we're going to reach forward, reach and tap, reach and tap, reach and tap. Good work. Reach and tap, reach and tap. And up again, reach and tap, reach and tap. Good work. Now we're going to bring the spine in a little more, the spine and the shoulders. We're going to start with a figure 8 with one arm. So circle in one direction and the other. We're rotating around the spine. So you're trying to get bigger and bigger. Bending your knees. Big circle. Try to reach further to the ground and further to the ceiling. If you can't go this far, just go to wherever level you're at. And the more you do, the more it will loosen up. Big circle all the way to the ground, if you can. And switch arms. Start with a small circle. So you're turning your shoulder over, stretching out the front and the back of the shoulder. Good rotation in that shoulder. So you're not just turning your hand, you're turning the whole shoulder over. And you're rotating around your spine. So reach in front and reach behind. Front, bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger. Really trying to loosen up the upper spine, the shoulders, the lower back. When you go low, you get the lower back involved. And then we're going to switch and do both arms at the same time. So you're going to pull your elbows back, knees are bent. Pull your elbows back and then out like wings. Then pull them forward. You're rounding your back and hands, back of your hands are together. Reach and then lift up and then open up your chest. So you're pulling back with your arms. And then again, elbows back and then out. Pull forward. Let's turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Reach, so you're really rounding your back, pulling with your hands in one direction and your back in the other direction. Feel a good stretch. Then lift up and pull out to open your chest for a good posture. Back with the elbows, out. Turn your hands over, up, and open up your chest. Let's do a couple more. Back with the elbows, around, really working the whole spine. Reach forward, lift up nice and tall, open up the chest, working on posture and back. Great job. Let's go back to hips. So we're going to do straight leg out in front, and we'll turn it out and lift up. So knee perfectly straight. We're working the quads. 6, 7, and 8, and flex. 1, 2. If you need a chair, have it nearby. Otherwise, you're really working your balance. 8. All right, other leg. Toe is pointed. Turn the toe out and lift up for 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. All right, back to the other side. Toe is pointed, turn it out. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to lift it very high. You're still activating those muscles. 5, 6, 7, 8, and flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Balance reflexes. All right. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, let's go to the feet a little bit. So we're going to bend your knees, stretch out the calf, and then straighten and lift up on your heels, up on your toes, and lower down. bend, stretch out your calves, and up, and bend, and up on your toes, working your balance, bend, and up on your toes. That was a better one. Felt like I had my balance a little better. And up on the toes, lower down. Good work. Back to hips. So we're going to go up in the front, flex foot, out to the side. Up in the front and out. Up and out. Up and out. Up in the front. Really working balance, working hips in 2 different directions. Side, so when you lift to the side, make sure your toes are still pointing forward. Don't have to lift it very far. Front and side, let's do 3 more. Front, side, front, side, 1 more, and side. Shake out the hips a little. Other side. Flexed foot, up in the front, and out to the side. Front and side. Even though we're moving this one leg, the other leg and hip are also working to maintain your balance. So we're really not just working this leg, we're working the other leg, the other hip, and we're working core, because the core helps us maintain our balance. If you get loose in the core, you'll notice your balance is not so good. So you want to stand up tall, lengthen your whole body, and that will help you maintain your balance. Keeping tight through the middle. We'll do 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more. Good work. Shake out the hips. And we'll go to shoulders. So let's do a little knee bend. Arms straight out in front. And lift up and out. So we're doing this knee bend. Turn your toes out. Bend your knees a little bit. And we'll stay down here while we do the arm movement. So we're working shoulders, but we're also working those quads at the same time. Up and out. Up and out. Up and out, up and out. Let's pull in and out. Pull back like you're pulling a rope and out. Really opening the chest. If your legs get tired, just shake them out and start again. Pull back and open out to the side. Back and out. Back and out. Good work. Out, back, and out. Couple more times and we'll change it up. Out and out. Pull back and out. You can go up and down if it's too much to hold it. Down and up. 1 more. Down and up. Good. All right, let's go. So this time we're going to press down and then back. So we're really working posture, but we're also working the back of the arm. So push down and back. I'm not arching my back. I'm just staying tall. Push down and back, down and back. Push and lift, push and lift, push, lift, push and lift. Good. Push and lift, push. So arms are going back, chest is staying up. Push and lift, push and lift. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Good work. Shake all those arms. We're going back to the squats. These are large muscles. They burn a lot of calories. If you're looking for extra calorie burning, use these quads. So go into a little bit of a squat And we're gonna do reaching out, pull back, out and out. So stretching out the shoulders, and then out and out, pull in, and push down in the back, and front, and front. How about down in the front? And up. Good. Down, push out, down and down, push out and out, and reach up. Reach forward, down and down, out and out, and reach up. Forward and forward, down and down, out and out. Reach up high as you can. Forward, down and down, out and out. Reach up to the ceiling. Good job. All right, let's do a little lunge. So point one knee out to the side, bend that knee. You're going to reach out and up. Reach out and up. Pretty simple. So you're bending this knee and then reaching out. So when you reach out, you're loading up the core, and then you come up using your quad, but also using those core muscles, the ab muscles. Let's go to the other side. So bend your knee, reach out, and up to the ceiling, and down. Bend your knee, reach out, and lift. Good. Bend your knee, reach out, and up. One more time. Bend your knee, reach out, and lift. You want to stay in a nice straight line. You're not bending at the waist. You're staying straight from your head to your hips, and then from your hips to your toes. So I'm not bending, I'm trying to stay in a nice straight line. You might need a mirror. Reaching out and lifting up. If you wanted to make that harder, then you add more weight, which is one more arm. So you bend your knee, reach out with one more arm, reach out with the other arm, and lift, and down. Bend, reach, and lift. You really feel this quad working. And down, bend, reach, and lift, and down. Bend, reach, and lift, and down. Other side. Turn your feet. So you're going to bend, reach with both arms, and up and down. Bend and reach with both arms as far as you can, and lift and down. Bend and reach and lift up and down. Bend, reach, and up. Good. Now we can stretch out the legs a little bit. So toe is pointing up, knee is straight, bend your back leg, bend from your hips, and just come forward. Stretching out that hamstring. Nice deep breaths. Tight hamstrings often will cause tension in your lower back, so it's always good to stretch out the hamstrings. And when we sit too much, which many of us do, these hamstrings get tight because we're always bent at the hip joint. So stretching out the hamstring, and you can go up and down to help loosen up a little more. And then turn sideways, toes pointing forward to get this long adductor, the inner thigh muscle. And hold, deep breath, and blow it out. And other side, toe pointing up, bend from the hip, and come forward. Stretching out the hamstring, stretching out the calf. And up and down with the toe. And deep breathe into your nose, out through your mouth. And get the inner thigh, toe pointing forward. And bend from your hip. Don't round your back. That loses most of the stretch if you round your back. So back is up, bending from your hip. Feeling this inner thigh stretch. Nice deep breath. Blow it out. And up. Good job. All right, let's go back to hips and core. Have a chair nearby if you need it. We're going to go up with the knee, out, back, and down, up and out, back and down, up, out, back and down, up and out, back and down, up, out. If this is too much, you can come down in between. So go up and then go out. So touch down in between, up and out, up and out, up and out. Other side. So up and out, up. If you have that chair, use it for balance. Otherwise, you're really working your balance reflexes. Anytime you go on one foot, you're really activating those balance reflexes. If you wobble, if you fall over, just come on up and start again. Out to the side and front. Side and front. 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Shake out those hips. Let's do a waist rotation for the core. So we're going to lift arms straight up, stretch as far as you can, and then you want to make a circle with your hands on the ceiling. Circle in one direction and circle in the other direction. So you're not moving your hips around. Hips are staying right where they are. Arms straight up and make a little circle and circle in the other direction. So you should feel these muscles working around the middle. Let's do it again. Circle in one direction and circle in the other direction. Good job. Back to some balance work. So we're going to make a square, stepping forward, side, back, and side. Forward, side, back, and side. Forward, back, and side, making a square on the floor. And if you want to make it a little harder, you don't touch in between. You just hold that foot up. Making a square, and then go the other direction. So side, forward, and back. Forward, side, back, and back. Now let's just tap side to side. Side to side, working the hips, working balance. And if you want to make it more difficult, stop. Try to stop and hold for a couple seconds on one leg. Hold, step and hold, step and hold, and hold. Now let's go forward and back, 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 forward. This is where it would help to have some of your favorite music on. And switch legs, so step with the other foot. Forward and back, forward and back, forward, back, forward and back. Now we're going to step and hold, step and hold, hold and hold. Good work. Hold Good job. You might just be able to hold it for 1 second at first. Eventually, you want to try to get to where you can hold for 1 minute. We're just going to try for 30 seconds. Have a chair or a wall nearby if you want. This is a great exercise for hips, strengthening that hip that you're standing on, even strengthening the bones, increasing your bone density. They've actually seen in research 3 times a day, standing on one leg, increases the bone density of that hip that you're standing on. So 3 times a day, you can hold on to something, but try not to. And we're trying for about 30 seconds. The wobbling is normal. That's your balance reflexes. Lots of messages being sent from your ankle joints, your muscles to your brain and back down to keep your balance. And we'll switch. Other foot. So a good way to do it is to lift your heel and then gradually lift more and more until your toe is off the ground. And hold. You can have your foot back or up in the front, whatever is comfortable. Your ankle might wiggle, your hips might wiggle a little bit. That's perfectly normal. Balance reflexes are just like a muscle. If you work them, they get stronger. Very simple. Our bodies are so amazing that they respond to what we do with them. So if you work it, it'll get stronger, no question. Good work. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. You made it through. Deep breath in and blow it out. Deep breath in and blow it out, releasing any extra tension in those muscles. One more deep breath in and blow it out. Thank you for joining me. This is Active Aging with Barb. See you next time. Bye-bye.